The sign on the wall, it's me against them all, and all me hope she trade once again. This is where the tears start dripping, and I'm always thinking it we face no one else but ourselves. Can't you see we're blinded, we're weak? Everyone choose to speak their mind, carving our way through with violence. On the way down singing, whoa, 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 whoa.
It's the Dukey Radio Show.
Hello, 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 hello. With me in the studio, I have Chuck.
Hey guys, my name's Chuck. My favorite word, one of my favorite words is bananas.
Bananas.
Bananas, yeah.
I like bananas. I need to have more bananas in my life. With me in the studio as well is Near.
Yeah, my name is Near, and my favorite word is drive.
Drive.
Yeah.
And if you're in a band, you're going to be doing a hell of a lot of that.
Hell yeah.
And last but most definitely not least, Guy. What is your favourite word?
Acai.
Asahi.
Yeah.
So I have to say, for those people who do not have the webcam facility, Guy is brandishing some of Japan's most famous and delicious
beer.
lager.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with Asahi. Chuck, you are the bass player.
Yep.
And Nia, you do all things vocal.
All things vocal, yeah.
And any stringed instruments that you can add to your bow or things that you do within the band?
Yeah, production-wise, I also play guitar, recordings, and I produce the music as for mixing and, the rest of the production.
Oh, blimey.
Actually, it's a fun fact. 3 of us are guitar players.
So you're all guitarists?
Yeah.
How many guitarists does it take to make a Jack The Envious record?
4, actually.
Really?
Yeah, but one of them left, so now 3.
Oh, what happened? Where did he go?
He went home.
He went home.
Yeah.
He just couldn't hack it. Britain just was too much for him.
Yeah,
He had a different kind of idea about musician and stuff like that.
Jack The Envious, you formed in the earlier parts of the decade that we are now living and enjoying, around 2011-2012, in Israel. You balanced setting up the band in the early days with your military service. Now, I've heard many stories about the trials and tribulations that bands have in the early days, having to cope with military service, and you probably know how to do things to the human body and machinery that I simply would not be able to comprehend.
Actually, me and Chuck met Commander's course,
Right.
both in the artillery forces back then.
Right.
And yeah, it was a weird time because we all just started getting into this band when we didn't really know it's gonna be, a huge lifetime thing. And we just started writing songs and doing them. We wanted to get a few live shows, and it's not that easy with the military service. So it was just, once a month in a weekend or whatever we could, push in and do. It was definitely quite the experience,
And how did Guy come into the equation?
Guy and me go way long,
We're
way
from the
back.
same street.
Yeah.
Oh, from same
Yeah.
street.
Yeah.
Same street.
Oh, my word.
From kindergarten, I know him. We became friends, I think, in 7th grade.
Whereabouts in Israel did the band form? Where was this street that you two, Guy and Nia, where did you meet?
In Herzliya.
Right.
It's close to Tel Aviv.
Close to Tel Aviv, yeah.
Right. And what is the music scene like there?
The quantity of the band is I think, between 10 to 20, in all the country.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
So not so much, but it's all of us are friends. Know each other, so it's warm and comfortable, but not that big. So you can find lots of people to reach to.
I'd imagine it's a place that's very easy to feel like a very big fish in a small pond.
We felt that
Kind of, yeah.
maybe twice. You know, we had 2 really great shows before we left, like packing 200 people venue, which was very, it was surprising for us. Like, as a new band, just got an EP out. So that was like the first show that we were like, oh, that's pretty cool.
And with Guy and Nia knowing each other from, you know, kind of the age of, you know, just pre-teens, early teens, what sort of music were you guys listening to? And has Jack The Envious, in its early form and the form that we hear now, has it always been on the kind of the heavier but melodic end of
So yeah,
the metal and thrash
This
crossover?
question varies.
we're
Since some-
very diversity with this.
Yeah,
stuff.
we're very different people. Music-wise, I mean, Guy grew on heavy stuff. I'm basically a pop-punk kid, so
Lots of fighting.
lots of fighting. But
Creative tension.
yeah, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
then
yeah.
you get to high school and you start listening to heavier stuff. Like, you know, we had similar stuff like Breaking Benjamin, Seosin, you know, just everything, 3 Days Grace, a lot of alternative, and, you know, got to heavier stuff later on.
He
So-
got heavier and I got mellow. So
Yeah.
you know,
Indeed.
And
we-
actually, one of the nice thing about it that, I mean, you say fighting, but usually it's like, it's one nice thing in Jack The Envious. Usually we have like a lot of discussions, but it all go with respect. So in the end, everyone wants to make like the best song. Just not like, I want to make a heavy song or something like it. We all gonna think, discuss. Sometimes there's a bit of fighting,
Yeah.
but good fighting. There's no songs we publish that like someone like doesn't feel 100% like publishing it. Everyone has to agree to see, all right, yeah, I think this one's a good one. If we want to change something, we all listen to each other, change it. In the end, it's the best product we think we made. So yeah.
And Chuck, are you like the lukewarm water in the band?
I feel my role in the band is to be kind of in the middle of that, kind of like lukewarm water.
How does it work out? How's your role within the band? And what side of the heavy debate
He's
are
a
you
thrasher.
on?
He is a thrasher.
Oh, he's a thrasher. So
Yeah,
a little bit
actually.
like lukewarm water in terms of how it all works out. I think the one thing I certainly hear in what Jack The Envious are doing musically, that catchy top line vocal sensibility is definitely there. You can hear the best of the pop punk side of things, but obviously what's happening behind all of that, yeah, it's heavy as shit. What's the longest tour that you did in Israel?
That's where it got really hard because we all had a lot of responsibility in our service. I mean, all of us were commanders in the end.
Combat
so-
commander,
Yeah,
so,
so-
you don't see home very often.
And
I can imagine, yeah.
Usually during the rest of the year, a lot of things were pretty quiet scene-wise. I'm not. I don't remember much, but I just remember there wasn't any events going on like during the year. And every summer we'd put on like 4 shows, something like that, which were very hard for us to reach all of them because it's getting out, it's putting on rehearsals, and you know, all of the rest of the things, you know, getting to the venue, getting back to the army sometimes on the same day, even if it's Saturday or something like that. So we put on like 4 shows each summer. And then when we got out, we had more of a focus on the recording the EP.
And the military service, what length of time is it?
3 years.
3 years,
Yeah.
right.
Between 18 to 21.
My goodness, right.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you absolutely have to be passionate about what you're doing musically in order
Yeah.
to keep that commitment between 18
Totally,
and 21.
actually, a lot of people, when they're like getting recruited to the army, they like don't find it time to make music. So just usually giving up on it or wait till they're gonna end their service. but we just did it as hard as we can.
Absolutely.
And,
You know, every month you get like between 1 weekend or 2 weekends off. That's like the time for yourself. So you try to put more time for like, you know, music.
I mean, I think I remember the first year of the army going like with no music at all. I mean,
Right.
I remember only listening to music, and just there were a few recordings I did before, just demos in my house, and just not doing anything. But when I met Chuck, on the same time, like a year later, we started recording again, like on our free time, which wasn't a lie. It was like 2 days. Once each 2 weeks or every month or so, we just started recording again, playing again. I play a lot with Guy and just sitting around with 2 guitars, in his house, and just playing riffs. And once it got there, you remembered why you were doing this and how much you love writing songs.
Despite the fact that you have a little bit of free time while you're doing your military service, it's just that it's a little bit of free time, and also you have family members and friends who want to see you as well, and presumably the word sacrifice comes into the equation of perhaps saying no when you're going back home and friends want to meet you, and saying no when your sisters or brothers want to take you out to whatever club. How was that pressure on your personal lives?
Like we all are commanders in the Israel army, so we know how to divide the time and find the time for everything you need to do. So you can find the time for everything if you just
I mean,
won't be lazy or
in
something
retrospect,
like
we did find time for everything, but I think a lot of friendships suffered. I know I had a few that did, and
Same here.
Family, you try to give them the most and the least, because they will respect you either way, and you give them the time that you can give them. And then you have a lot of friends, and some of us had girlfriends, and it's everything in the equation. It's so hard to please everyone, but we tried our best.
You were commanders, you know how to deal with a lot of shit, and you're good at it. And from a timeline point of view, the end of your military service, 21 years of age, how long did you remain in Israel before coming to our beautifully sunny country?
Very sunny. Too sunny, actually.
Well, I think that we knew that we were going to go out the minute we were done with the army.
Right.
But then we wanted to record our music professionally. And once we did, I remember it was, I don't know, a year into after the service, I already told Guy, all right, Guy, I mean, we're getting out of here. And he's like, it's gonna take time, man. It's not that easy. It wasn't, and he was right. And it took us 2 years to get the money, to work a lot, to get the right people, which eventually wasn't exactly the right thing for us. Not everyone was 100% on it, but we got out of it, and we're in a better place now than ever.
The commitment that the three of you have shown coming to the UK, giving it all up, giving up your lives to focus on your passion, which is the band.
Yep.
That's a beautiful thing. That's going to come with struggle. And you live in London. London is home here in the UK. London is a great city. It's one of the greatest cities on the planet.
Hell yeah.
It's also one of the most difficult cities to live in. This is not an easy city.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mind you, if 3 people can handle the struggles that urban living in Western Europe can entail, and you certainly deal with a lot of it here, it's going to be you guys. But, this isn't an easy city. I mean, I think Londoners, when you get to know us, we can be friendly, but most of the time we're really, and apologies to other Londoners, we're really fucking miserable. And how have you found us? How are you guys getting on in London, in short?
Actually, personally, it's my first time in London, so it's my first time. It's your first time?
No, it's not my
yeah,
first
it's my first time.
Right.
Me?
Yeah, you can.
So first of all, very polite. You also,
Really?
yeah.
God, we're getting away with
Very,
it then.
very,
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, very polite. And I think like because it's like lots of people from different places, you know, like you are born here, right, in England, but there's lots of people that haven't. So it's like very diverse, like in New York, but a different, you know, vibe to it.
Absolutely. It's a different kind of speed to New York. But again, it's an international city.
Yeah.
A big city with big opportunities, big problems, big annoyances, and many, many wonderful things to go along with it. And it's also an expensive city as well.
Yeah.
So, you know...
Not that expensive.
I mean,
you know, like
consider
Israel is,
it's pretty close to what we paid in Israel for everything.
Really?
Even
Yeah.
Tel Aviv, I think it's pricier.
Yeah, might be.
Tel Aviv
Right.
It's pricier, I think.
Good. It's very rare to hear anybody say that. Normally it's... and usually people in the studio who aren't from the UK who come here will be very disparaging about how much things are and will then blame me for it personally. It's my fault. I'm so sorry. How have you found British audiences in comparison to the ones that you were used to on home turf?
Actually, we're pretty new to touring here.
Right.
We did spend a lot of time recording new stuff
Right.
For the EP, and then we worked on a PR campaign, which is already taking place. And now we started touring. Like we have a few shows here in London, and we're trying to get a few dates around London. So far, I mean, we had I think that it was a hit or miss. It might be like the best audience we've had or like the worst audience, but we can't really judge from two shows. So we're keeping at it.
We really like to communicate with people that listen to our music, and they are traveling like 8 hours.
8
it's
hours,
like
just-
unbelievably.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Israel, it's like less than 8 hours for going through the country. So we can't even like imagine in our country people like drive 2 hours to get to our
Yeah,
show.
there was a girl came from Ireland to see us in London.
This is
Yeah.
actually something that we've encountered that was very new to us. I mean, we have a longtime fan named Joe, and he traveled twice a month to both of our shows from Weymouth, which is an 8-hour train ride, I guess. And this is amazing. I mean,
It's my heart. It's like
Yeah.
fucking
Absolutely, that's tremendous commitment, and also to do that means that you're absolutely resonating with people, and for them to make the effort to do that, be it from Ireland, be it from Weymouth, be it from one part of London to another, which sometimes feels like it can take 8 hours. Sometimes it does. Is a tremendous thing. The one thing about London is there are 1,000 things going on every night, and being able to be a draw, not only for local people, but for people travelling from further afield, is tremendous. It's really, really, really good. And that's proof in the pudding. With regards to the person in Weymouth and with regards to the fan who came over from Ireland, how had they heard from you? Through which network did they come across your music?
Oh, I think basically YouTube and Facebook are
Yeah,
the
right.
strongest.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube got us a lot of new people. Basically, we got it to a few pages that are not only our pages, and it got a lot of traction. And Facebook, we do a lot of our own marketing and promotion. So
A lot.
yeah. I mean, I think every band should, but we find ourselves maybe 2 weeks in a row just dealing only with marketing and not even doing music at all. I mean, we have a lot of songs already written and just waiting to be heard, but we just, would spend our days hitting people, targeting certain events that might be close to our genre, and talking to new people. We love it, actually.
Yep.
I mean, we just love speaking to new audience and getting heard, and most of them really do like the music, so it's a two-way street.
Most of them really appreciate it. We're trying to reach them by speaking to them, not just sending them links like, this is my band, listen to it and spam them. We actually we've been talked to like hundreds of people like personally, so they can actually be kind enough to give us a listen, and they just love it as much as we do. So
being able to engage with people directly instead of just being tedious spam that somebody wants to immediately delete.
Yeah, usually bands, I don't think they do it that frequently, but because it's hard like sitting and just adding people and really talk to them, but we love it.
I think we also changed that way because, when you start as a band, you just want to be heard and we want it now. So you're like, I'll just copy the link and I'll send it to everyone. And everyone will hear me and it'll be awesome and wonderful. It's not.
Yeah.
In reality, it's like you get used to it and then you understand and you evolve. But once you really get it, I think I really love speaking to new people and having that connection, because it makes it that much more, unique and different from other things.
Yes.
Your forthcoming EP, In Your Own Way, how recently was that recorded? Where was it recorded? And when is it coming out?
It recorded in our first month.
Here.
First month we moved here. We just we rent an apartment in Commercial Road, like this way.
Just
Very
down the
very
road from
close.
Dukey Radio
Down
Show
the road.
HQ.
Your house was in our jug routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And we just every day just recording stuff. Just every
writing.
day.
We put we had a lot of ideas going on when we got here, so it was like we were very we have orders, so it's like okay, we'd get 3-4 songs a week, which is pretty crazy, thinking we'll be ready 3 to 4 songs each week, every week. So yeah, it went well.
Yeah, but we made it. It's like we made like 14, I think. Yeah, 14 songs in 1 month.
Right.
And just picked the ones that we think are like most suitable for the new EP.
Right.
And that's all, I think.
I mean, there's a phrase in writing that sometimes you have to murder your darlings, which means out of those 14 songs, some of those that you might be really attached to might have to go because it doesn't sit with the others. How did that feel? Did you, when you'd finished that 14th track and you listened to all the mixes, how long of a process was it to pick and choose and, if you will, murder the darlings, or indeed set them aside for future bonus releases?
Yeah, that's the thing. We are like literally, it wasn't that hard. We made it like 2 hours.
It's crazy to choose actually, but once we knew what we were trying to go with in the EP, it was pretty okay, so this song and that song really goes together, and we had like this vision of keeping the same vibe that people might have gotten from the last EP we did, and just give them the same vibe in a unique and different way. So we had like a song for each other song from the other EP. They're like, this goes pretty well with the same vibe. So we kind of chose the songs together in like a 2-hour session of just talking about it.
Yep.
And most of the thing that I really liked about this EP, it really resonate with the idea of why we came here, like the lyrics wise. It was like I think the way we just moved and all the struggle and stuff that you mentioned earlier. So it was really resonate with this EP. So it's like this is like the big theme of it.
Very much a case of, as a band, everything you've gone through collectively and you're going to feel it lyrically in all of the tracks.
That's right.
Wake up! It's time to move again. I can't remember the last time we spent on living our lives. We proceed to survive with only this purpose to poison our minds. I'm seeking omens in the sky, something to show me that I'm still alive. Help me find my way back inside, back to a place where our dreams can rise. Don't bury me, let me breathe. I can face this entirely, and I won't let you down. Just let me know that I'm safe and sound.
You fine chaps would not be in the studio were it not for the fact that soothsayer, drummer, producer, websmith, all-round nice guy, Ben Walters, who is the person who put me on to you guys, who turned me on to the glories of Jack The Envious. Tell me, how did you meet Ben?
So there's a funny story
That
behind
was
it.
amazing. Yeah.
Actually,
So Neil, go for it.
Yeah, I have a good friend from back home. He lives in Berlin now. And there was a 4 Year Strong concert going on in London, which is one of my and Chuck's favorite bands. So we didn't buy tickets, and we didn't think about it even. And then he messaged me, and he's like, "Are you going to the show?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. We didn't buy tickets. It's today." And he's like, "Dude, you're going to the show." And I didn't even need much persuasion. It was like, "Yeah, you're right, man. I'm stupid." And then I just hit up a Facebook group going like, "Is there any tickets going on? Like, still somebody selling?" And Ben hit me up, and we actually were looking for a drummer back then, because our drummer left the band. So I immediately saw he's a drummer, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, I see you're a drummer. Would you like to hear my band? We're actually looking for someone to audition." And he's like, "Yeah, dude, send me stuff over." And he got hooked. And on that day, we sat together on beers, just drank and talked. And we continued this conversations, and it became to a really long-lasting friendship, and we're really grateful for it.
Oh goodness, all of this through the Book of Face, really, from the sounds of it, or a desire to go to a specific gig, and the next thing you know, you're in East London and working with the man.
Life's full of surprises.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what has his role been with regards to Jack The Envious here in UK? What does Ben do?
We really wanted him to be a part of the band,
Right.
but he haven't felt like to play in it. So, but we really like this guy, so we're great friends, and we call it like our night manager. It's like the party manager. He's like
Everybody needs a good night manager.
yeah, he is like the best night manager we ever hoped for. And, that's.
By the way, I want to
all.
give him a huge shout out. He has his own label and promotion and PR called Forthcoming Media Group. So you should check him out because he's a great man, great musician, great producer,
He made lots of stuff.
and great friend, by the way. Yeah.
Here. He's a good man. Well, indeed, it was due to him that you are in this very studio at the moment. So
Indeed.
all roads lead to the mighty Ben.
Yeah,
Which is a very, very good thing. And I know that he is involved with all kinds of musical production work as well. Did you collaborate with him on this
Not
latest
yet.
release?
Not yet.
Right.
I did send him just, for fun to master one of our songs, which wouldn't be on the EP, obviously. But we actually did talk about doing things together because we have actually an acoustic session coming up real soon with his group, the Forgotten Media Group.
He is producing it. and
Yeah,
doing
he's
everything.
producing. He's taking care of everything, microphones, recording, filming. So it's pretty cool. We just love doing things together, and even if it's like hanging out on a beer or doing music related things, just
Work
awesome
hard,
dude.
play hard.
Yeah.
Work hard and play hard. So he's going to go from night manager to knob twiddling producer.
I hope so.
So be daytime partying. So he may become daytime party manager.
Yeah.
Indeed. It's going to be a promotion. The three commanders have deemed him fit for duty in the daytime. Do the three of you live in the same flat house?
Yes.
In the same room,
Yeah,
actually.
the same
You live in the
bed.
same room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're sleeping in
both
the
with
same bed.
for a lot of time.
Right. So you're quite literally living in each other's hair.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that certainly is a
Horrible.
testament.
Why, thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it.
By the way, I'm really glad that we were able to conduct the last interview with this band. I mean, obviously, traveling, over thousands of miles to be here and live in close confines, you guys have to like each other and to be, if you will, patient with each other's shortcomings. And we all have them. And I think it's important that we talk about the fact that originally there were 4 and 4 became 3.
There were 5.
There were
Oh, there were
5.
5.
Yeah.
So 5 members of the original band came out here.
We're supposed to be like 5, and drummer was supposed to join us after a month because he has personal stuff at home. 1 month after we moved here, he decided he can go on with the band. He has some personal stuff at home. Shoe doesn't fit, whatever. That was his stuff. And less than a month after it,
A month and a half later, our longtime friend and guitar player sat us down to talk and says that he said that he realized that this route wasn't for him, which is very acceptable. I mean, he basically started the band with us, so it was full of understanding, and we really wish him luck in anything he will do later because he's a great musician.
Yeah, actually, he was the band's first drummer.
He was.
Yeah, it was the
first
He was
drummer.
the band's first. When we started out as
Oh,
a
it was.
4-piece, it was the 3 of us, and he was
Right.
on drums. So
For somebody to have the commitment to move countries and to focus on one thing, and it isn't an easy life to do that. If the shoe doesn't fit, as you said, Chuck, earlier, I mean, you have to respect that decision, and it sounds like there was absolutely no hard feelings. And when he returned home,
you could see it was hard on him to say that, even because we were such good friends. We're still good friends, so yeah, we respected it.
So does that mean that when you're playing live that you've recruited some local talent?
Actually,
One big talent.
Right.
His name
Huge
is
talent,
James.
yeah.
He's
Right.
our drummer. He's amazing.
And how did you meet James? Is he from London or from UK?
He's from Redditch.
Right.
Actually, yeah.
Oh, from Redditch, right.
Redditch.
Indeed. And how did you meet him, and how is he slotting in? Ultimately, the one thing is, like, the 3 of you in the room, you're a tight unit, and I like that. And it's going to be an interesting dynamic for somebody to come into that unit. I've got the feeling, because he seems so nice, that you'd be very inclusive. How's it all going?
It's going great. He's the missing piece of the puzzle.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
So he's
totally.
just squeezed in, and it feels amazing. It sounds weird, but yeah.
Are there ever any moments when you slip into Hebrew when you're in the studio?
Lots
Yeah,
of time. Yeah, we
definitely.
try to avoid it, but it's inevitable.
Autopilot.
it's
Yeah.
autopilot. Yeah,
And
When,
does he,
uh,
does
when
he
you
have his
talk.
phrase book? Is he starting to...
He will.
he'll
Monetize.
catch on at some point.
Yeah.
We do try to talk mostly in English. I
Yeah.
mean, we're not that bad at it, so.
Okay, your English is absolutely fabulous. But obviously, if you're in the studio together and you want to get from point A to point B through 14 bloody songs... going for your native tongue is going to make all of that much easier.
Yeah.
And so it's a tribute to James that, you've got somebody who is indeed that missing piece in the puzzle. So when's his birthday coming, and will you get him a Hebrew book?
Maybe.
Hebrew to English dictionary.
Maybe he'll get us an English book for,
Yeah,
for his
probably.
birthday.
It's gonna be better, so...
So kind of Redditch dialect to Tel Aviv Hebrew. When you came over here, what was the situation with regards to gear? Did you sell everything out there and then buy here, or was it just one bag, one guitar, and 3 dreams.
I mean, we took everything we could take that is very, like, the necessary things to take. Like, a guy has a camper, he took that and a guitar. Chuck took the bass and, his pedal board.
Yeah, that's it, basically.
I basically took, my computer, which is only for production work, and my sound card /
and your
microphone.
acoustic guitar.
Acoustic guitar, because, sometimes you get
take
lonely.
everywhere, so...
And yeah, actually, we don't have speakers until this day. I mixed all the EP with headphones.
Yeah.
And
really?
Yeah.
All of it in the box and with a pair
in
of
the
cans,
box,
as we say.
Yeah, and a small speaker,
Yeah.
like the regular things you take to the beach.
Yeah, that's horrible.
To be fair, though, if you're used to listening to music on one of those horrible little beach speakers,
Yeah.
it means that if you can get it to sound good on there, you can get it to sound good on everything.
It's funny, but actually I found a lot of things that I didn't notice through the really good earphones I have. I heard it through the speaker, and I need to take this down a notch. So, yeah.
So I can see you, sort of 20 years in the future, recording Jack The Envious's 20-second album, and still probably going in there with 14 songs, and you'll still have that little speaker that you reference, and some engineer will go,
So do you guys want to listen to this back on the Yamaha NS10 speakers, Dad? Or are you going to use the shit beach speaker? It's falling apart, mate.
fuck those NS10s, which are standard speakers, which sound horrible, which are in studios everywhere, but enough gear geekery. And then you're going to demand to have it. It'll be just kind of falling apart, and you'll be mixing everything on that. That's incredible, though, because, I mean, there is a saying that mixes that, were done on speakers will always sound good on headphones, but not necessarily vice versa. But you've proved otherwise. So maybe it is all down to that little... the beach speaker.
I mean, yeah, it was scary.
The beach speaker, that great brand.
Yeah, it was pretty scary at first doing this. I remember talking to a guy about it. It's like, dude, I don't know what I'll do without speakers, but we knew that if we're gonna move around a lot, we can't really afford buying new speakers because I had ones like at home. So I had a sort of a template that I know that I was working with, which sounds pretty good, and from there I worked on each track individually. So yeah, eventually it's the bottom line, and it all sounds very, very good in our opinion. So
I mean, the one thing that I've noticed with all of the tracks that I've heard you do from, I suppose, from 2015 onwards, is that the production and the arrangements are tighter than cramped. They are really slickly done.
Thank you.
Really, really dynamic, which for heavy music can be difficult. You want everything to sound louder than everything else, and compress the fuck out of it, and sometimes you can end up with something that's a steamrollered turd. And yours is the opposite of that. It's really, really, really heavy, but it's super dynamic, and you're not afraid to play with juxtaposition. When you have a drop down, it really drops down. And also some of the instrumentation that you use is non-standard. I've heard xylophones being incorporated in places. How did the xylophones come in?
Where did we get the inspiration from, guy?
We just
What, like the
we
just know the inspiration of like the xylophone
Yeah,
was from the African. There's an African instrument. The ones looks like a half of coconut shell. Our friend had one of this, and
definitely love that thing.
Marimba?
Near
Is
just
it a marimba?
I think it's called marimba.
Could be.
And he's just played with it, and he says like, oh, it sounds nice, and then we cooperated like in a weird way to the xylophone stuff, but it's not like.
I
main
basically
idea.
love everything weird from Tim Burton onwards. It's like everything that sounds different is just cool for my taste.
I love the idea that a band references Tim Burton. That's fantastic. So
art is art.
Yep.
Absolutely. Musically, you're coming up with something that is unique and distinctive in the same way that his cinematic visions kind of deliver. You always know when you're looking at a Tim Burton film. Certainly with what you guys are doing, there's a stamp that's very much your own. And in a genre where there's certain sounds that you want to have, there's certain, guitars and amp combinations which are going to work. So being able to to kind of forge a sound that's very much your own in 2017, where everyone's using similar plugins and similar programs, it's very easy to turn into, even if it's accidental, to turn into a kind of a conveyor belt product. Nia, when you're getting stuck in and the headphones are on, the beach speaker is there, Chuck and Guy, are they just off having asahi and banana omelets, or what?
I wish.
What
I wish.
happens? Are you all hands on and get stuck in?
It depends on what we do. Like when we were very strong into the process of recording, when I did that, Guy might have, worked on the parts for the next song to, because you can't just go, yeah, I know the song. You need to fucking practice. So he'd go and Chuck would practice, and they might have, talk on the next song and how to build it and what to put in or different nuances. Guy has a lot of video art work that he had to do. We actually do most of our stuff DIY, so Guy is like the editor of videos, and he did the whole lyric video we put out for Begging for More last month. Chuck does a lot of things Facebook-wise and promote. He did
designs,
it since day one. He does promotion and designs and whatever, everything from banners to logos and stuff like that. So,
is there anything you guys can't do? It's really annoying.
If you'll name a few, we can tell you if we can do it or not.
From the sounds of it, and all joking aside, from the ground up, from a writing, arranging, performing, and then promoting point of view, and promoting including videos, including engaging with people through social media, you all have your roles, and you've all slotted in really, really naturally through it.
We made the slots, like we knew we need to be able to make our own videos, so that's where I came in and just learn about it.
Just like cavemen.
Music video.
Me video do one.
Me video do now.
Producer.
The first thought about was like, it's better for us to learn to like a video arts to learn about how to film things, how to edit things, all designs, mixing and everything, just so we can do it ourselves and we don't have like to pay tons of money for other people to do it. So basically, we create our own product all the fucking time.
I think it's also important to note that when we got here, we weren't in the same position that we are now. I mean, I didn't mix the way I mix now when we got here, and Guy didn't do lyric videos like it does now.
Well, he sounded like a caveman at first.
No,
He no longer does.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No, because we started out and we recorded a lot of songs, so I obviously got better and all that. And when we decided to do lyric videos, so Guy's like, all right, so I'll start learning how to do that. And you sit on your ass for hours and you study, and I did that the same thing with production, just learning new tricks here and there, and getting more information. So we didn't really know the same things that we know now when we got here 4 months ago. So
you've only been here 4 months, and you've forged all of these things into place in the city. My word, that is quite an achievement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, there's some bands who struggle to get a replacement drummer in 4 months, let alone having somebody come in, seeing people go. So, you've had a great deal of change since coming here. I didn't realise your arrival here was that recent. With everything you've been talking about, I assumed it was maybe a year and a half ago. So it's interesting how...
It did feel like it.
Right. You've lived a year and a half in the space of 4 months.
It's fun for all with no content. Indifference is your key to make me wanna crush you, but I fall again between your webs on dangling. It's a statue dragon with my insides all burning. My beloved target, what makes you once again?
between completing your military service and your move here, you no doubt looked at an entire globe. And although we touched on it before, what is it about the UK that made this seem like the ideal home for the band, ideal base for the group?
We are really mobile, so we're in the UK right now. We don't know what's gonna be like, next month even. So, first of all, we want to get out of Israel because of the small scene there's there. And the UK and especially London is like the main source of art and communication to other countries everywhere. So that's the main thing. And even the English that we already knew part of it. So it was really easy. And that's the main thing, I think, for us right now.
I completely understand from your point of view and where you developed as a band and where you were originally based that, being able to dive into, a bigger pond was really, really important. And London is a great place to do that. And I also understand that it may not be your forever home. Yeah. And from the sounds of it, you're going to see how you get on here and where the wind takes you and where the music takes you and where the muse takes you is part of the excitement of it all.
Yes.
Are there any long-term goals in terms of where you'd like to see yourself either being based or touring? Obviously, you love playing and want to tour the world and everywhere, but in the next year, what would you like to see happen?
I think that, like Guy said, I think we don't have like a specific home that we picture in our head, but we just want to tour as much as we can, put on another record and maybe another EP after, and just keep growing. That's what bands should do, keep doing what we do.
I heard lots of bands that I get in touch with them in like their fourth album, and then when I saw it, I go back and like have so much fun of listening of their older songs, So if we in like 3 years from now have like our second album or third album, and somebody just gonna get the same feeling, so I done my job, It's not like that's the important thing to do.
Striving to continue to develop as a group and to have that at the forefront. It's amazing how many bands forget that. They get caught up in the business or they grow wary of the business. And for you, I sense that it's about the music first and foremost. And that sounds really, really naff, but for many, many groups, to quote the film Spinal Tap, as long as there's the sex and drugs, I can do without the rock and roll.
As long as there's, sex and drugs, I can do without the rock and roll.
Not my own sentiments, but the sentiments of a lot of bands. And the more that you tour the UK, the more that you'll no doubt see that. I was intrigued to see that you covered a song by Gorillaz. Now,
there it goes.
A really unique, heavy interpretation of the track, which keeps the spirit of the song, but I wouldn't visualise you listening to Gorillaz while you're on the beach with your little beach speaker.
Cities breaking down on a camel's back. They just have to go 'cause they don't know where.
We do.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
right.
do.
Yeah.
So while you feel the streets, it's a pill in the sea. You won't get out of county 'cause you're bad and free.
Are you big Gorillaz fans?
I am.
Yeah.
Sure.
We
definitely.
listen to practically everything these days. I mean, Guy has a lot of indie vibe going on, and same as me, and Chuck does sometimes.
By the way, if you just like get in our apartment while we're like doing promotion and shit, you probably won't hear like heavy music. It's gonna be like a Gorillaz or Royal Blood.
Women for the land, turn forever, hand in hand. Take it all when on your stride, and it's taking fall.
That's the fun thing about music. If you do love music, you love everything. I mean, each one of us has
Not
its own
everything.
like one or two genres that it's the favorite. But I mean, everything goes. Gorillaz is one of our favorite bands.
It's well-crafted songs, but a surprising choice for a cover, which is why it works, really. So in a way, that comment answers the question. I didn't even need to ask that.
Have you listened to Wonderwall?
Today's gonna be the day that they're
We've gone from the slightly Britpop infused Gorillaz with Damon X Blur at the helm and the cover that you did of the Gorillaz song to something that is completely and utterly Britpop, Oasis Wonderwall.
Yep.
You certainly know how to choose covers which are not going to be predictable. What made you choose to go all Manchester with regards to that fantastic cover?
In retrospect, I think that we found out that we chose two big UK acts only when we, thought about it a year later, and it's like, oh, we just chose the UK bands, I think that there's a lot of thing in the scene that they choose a lot of pop songs and just the regular thing that you choose a popular song from the charts and do a cover of it, and it's cool because it's there's hype.
I'm sorry to say, but usually they sound pretty much the same. I mean, you put like the hard verses and the clean choruses, you put some distortion, and it just sounds fucking the same.
When we chose our covers, it was basically songs that we knew that a lot of people like and that we like. So it's like, this is something we grew up on. We want to do a cover of it.
And I think it's not like we like looked for making a cover. We just made, like, I know from the Feel Good Inc. that I heard it. I even remember when I heard this song, when I said, like, we need to make a cover of it. I just heard the bass like riff there, and said like it's can be awesome with like some distortion on it.
It's still playing in our live shows though.
Actually, when Nir came to me and said, like, dude, we have to do Wonderwall, and I was like, dude, I hate this song, but just cause I personally hate it, we should do it fucking better. And it turned out to be fucking amazing.
Can you do me a favour with regards to that cover when you play it live? Just something for me, Nir, and you're singing this. One line in Wonderwall that has always perplexed me as to why they let that one get through the filters. All the lights that light the way.
And all the lights that light the way are blinding.
All the lights that light the way.
When all the lights that light the way are blinding.
It's a redundant use of the word light, when all the lights that guide the way would have been much better. I think Noel Gallagher perhaps was having an off day and rushed those out. Can you promise to stick guide in there from now on when you perform it, and just think of me?
Sure we do. We're gonna do it.
All the lights that guide the way. It is better. It's the way the song should have been written. Whoever produced that should have let Noel and Liam,
I think that's one of the places where art wants to to piss you off so you'd get hooked. Why is that? You're talking about it. You're already making it a thing.
Indeed. I mean, I suppose in a Mancunian accent, light, all the lights that light the way, all the lights that guide. It still works. It's better. So you don't have to agree to this mission. I'm trying to get all military on your ass.
You got it.
Thank you. We live in an era in which the interweb apparently is of great importance, and I understand that you've got spaces on the internet where people can find out more about the band. How do people click their way to find out more about your good selves?
Oh.
Where's the first port of call? Is it the Book of Face? Is there a band website? I want to know.
I'd say Facebook. Definitely.
Facebook is the main.
Everything that we put
platform.
out, we put on Facebook. Basically, even things that aren't on YouTube are on Facebook. Like different things that we did on the site. So Facebook is the place to go.
Facebook is the first place. I mean, YouTube, Instagram, even Twitter.
Sometimes Twitter.
But Facebook is the main
Fair enough.
thing. Yeah.
Now, all of you listening to this, are listening via the means of the podcast, and in the description on your playing device will be links to the band, but also you can go to Google, you can go to Bing, you can go to Ask Jeeves, is that still even going?
Pornhub.
And put in, and what is another?
Pornhub.
Oh, indeed. And then find out more about your good selves. Indeed, that'll be more the video-based stuff that that guy likes to edit.
Yeah.
So there's a lyric-only video, but is there another special kind of video that you've done? Find out. Google your way, search your way to Jack The Envious. Also, the new EP is out
14th of July.
14th of July.
By the way, we got a show back on June 10th in Surya. Yeah, it's a venue called Surya here in London.
Oh, yes, on Pentonville Road in
Yes,
the heart
yeah,
of
indeed.
King's
So
Cross.
if you're not going to download and you're like, oh, why I'm not going to download, I want
Because
to
it's
go
really
to...
expensive, and there's something much better in London.
So yeah, we're the other option.
Chuck, Nia, and Guy, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
gracing
so
you
much
so
for
much,
the
Jake.
Dukey Radio Show
opportunity.
with your presence.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It
you
was a
very
pleasure.
much.
And let's
And-
get some banana omelets and some Asahi beers on the go.
Oh yeah, let's do
That's
it.
a party.
Let's see what Slutty Sue is doing in her house. In her house. Let's see what Slutty Sue is doing in her house. In her house. Let's see what Slutty Sue is doing in her house. In her house.
Are you done with those mugs?
To a mere pedestrian or uninitiated local, Penge may appear to be an unremarkable suburb of London, neither city nor country, neither posh nor destitute. But in this quiet enclave in the southeastern quarter of our nation's capital is an Art Deco semi-detached house owned and occupied by a North American transplant to Blighty named Slutty Sue. She likes to clean. I popped into Slutty Sue's pristine abode and asked, Slutty Sue, what have you been up to?
Since it's springtime and the weather's getting hot, I've had to start cleaning up my yard. It's got all grown over because it's so warm and moist lately. And it makes it difficult for my neighbor to have access. And it makes everything seem a little dirty. So this week, Dukey, I've mostly been clearing the passageway that leads to my back door.
City's breaking down on the camel's back. They just have to go cause they don't know what. So all you feel the streets, it's appealing to say you won't get out of the county cause you're ain't free. You got a new horizon, it's ephemeral style. A melancholy town where we never smile. And all I wanna hear is a message beep. My dreams they gotta kiss it cause I don't get no sleep now. Windmill for the land, love forever hand in hand. Take it all in on your stride, it is sticking, pulling down. Love forever, love is free, let's turn forever, you and me. Windmill for the land, is everybody? Laughing Gussie's as Matt's force cats, lining them up like horse cracks. Ladies, ponies at the track, it's me chocolate tap. Shit, I'm deaf the whole of the shit, yo, Care Bear ribbon the whole of the shit. You watch me, yes, I'll gravitate. Yeah, we're gonna ghost town, this Motown, with your sound. You in the blink, gonna bop the DOS, cop fight with us with your sound. You kill the ink, so don't stop, get it, until you chat it, edit, watch the way I'll navigate.
Well, that is indeed your lot. Chuck, Guy and Near are an absolute delight, and it was a real honour to have them here at Dukey HQ. The three members of the band, their nighttime manager Ben Waters, and myself went off to a local tavern after we were done recording, and we toasted the fortunes of the group. And I really hope they go from strength to strength. I can't think of more deserving people. You've been listening to our interview with Jack The Envious. My name is Dukey and I've been your host. Until next time, may the worst of tomorrow be the best of yesterday. Now it's time for me to go and pop my weasel. Thanks for listening.
Half a pound of tuppenny rice, half a pound of treacle. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel.
Facebook. Click on your mouse to our Facebook page. Facebook. It's easy to find, it will not take an age. Facebook. www.facebook.com/. The Dukey Radio Show, the Dukey Radio Show. The thin white Dukey is right. Click your way to the Dukey Radio Show Facebook page. www.facebook.com/The Dukey Radio Show. The Dukey Radio Show, the Dukey Radio Show.